Up camp, a phrase commonly heard if you're from western Pennsylvania. It refers to a physical place, but also a state of mind. It's the deer camp, the fishing hole, a cabin, or a getaway you always go up to, despite its geographical location. I spent most of my adult life inside comedy clubs, but some of my best memories were made outside, hunting and fishing the surrounding properties of my grandparents' single-wide paradise. So sit back and maybe have a few laughs at my successes and failures as I look to reconnect with a simpler time. I'm Collin Chamberlin, and I'm headed up camp. Hey folks, I'm Collin Chamberlin. This is the first episode of Up Camp. I'm out here today on public land in Pennsylvania. It's my home state. We're going to do some bow hunting for white-tailed deer. So wish me luck, and thanks for tuning in to this point. We're going to be hunting from the ground. So I came in and kicked all the leaves out of where I'm going to be sitting. The other thing I did was I took some twigs and some branches and I just set up a little bit of a blind around me. So just something to break up the profile. So we're going to sit here for a while and see what happens. You might be thinking to yourself like, oh, when you're out deer hunting or whatever, or you're out in the woods, where do you go to the bathroom? My grandfather, I swear he waited to go poop in the woods. It was his favorite thing. I remember the one time my uncle had gone into the woods a couple days after we had left, and he texted me and he said, whoever in the woods near my stand, thanks. And I said, it wasn't me. And he goes, no, I didn't think it was you. And I go, how do you know it's not a deer? He goes, because deer would never eat this much corn. Not only did he find it, he stepped in it because my grandfather covered it with leaves. And as he was walking through the woods, he stepped right through it and had my grandfather's on his boots for the rest of his day hunting in his enclosed deer stand. I got engaged recently, and we had a party after, and it's crazy to me, once you propose, how little you're involved in the actual celebration. Everybody was like, congratulations to you, to her. And I'm like, if it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened. I'm the person that facilitated this. Instead, I'm just drinking 42 Michelob Ultras, making burgers, like I'm a line cook at a Chili's. We just celebrated Halloween when I'm filming this. And she didn't do the thing where she was like, hey, we're going to do a couple's costume and your pardon is going to be the most unflattering, horrific thing you could wear. Because I do feel like that's pretty common with men and women couples, is that the woman is always I'm a sexy nurse, and the dude is in a hospital gown with his head shaved. It's always I'm a hot teacher, I'm a hot nurse, I'm a hot fireman, and the dude's I'm a burn victim. I had 3 hours of prosthetics to look like my face was melted off. We used to do a lot of deer drives, which if you're not familiar with a deer drive, it's where usually they take the youngest, most vulnerable hunters in the group and they have them walk through a plot of land while the older, more seasoned hunters stand at the edge of it and wait for anything to come out and then shoot the deer, which usually you're walking maybe 50 to 100 yards behind. I think I'm going to walk and see if there's any other sign anywhere else. I mean, deer or no deer, you can't beat this. I don't know if you can see all that right there. That's all bent down. It is most likely something, probably deer bedded down there. When I was a kid, my pap would pack me for lunch. He would put it in a bucket, and that bucket was also your seat. But he would pack me like ham and cheese sandwich, an apple, maybe some like sort of like cheese doodle, knockoff cheese doodle that was like at the Great Value Shopping Mart in Mercer County or wherever we were, Crawford County. He would pack me a thermos of either black tea or black coffee because that's what he drank. And he would just make double. I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. No water, no chocolate milk, nothing. Just a thermos full of black coffee. Like I was a mill worker on the graveyard shift. We sat for another hour or so, maybe a little more. Didn't see anything moving. I gotta get back to my car. It's gonna take me a little bit to get back to the car, and then we got a bit of a drive back to New York City. So, this is it. I can't even get to my camera. This doe has not winded me yet. I cannot believe it. I have been slowly creeping up behind it. I cannot believe that this doe is right here. There's no way I'm gonna be able to set up on this thing without bumping it on my way out of all things. You gotta be freaking kidding me. I cannot even describe what just happened. And walking my way out, I could hear down in another holler, down the hill from the trail, something moving. So I stopped, and it's a big doe, and she never saw me. She just always stayed out of range. I couldn't even get to my camera. It's all shot on my iPhone. I'm gonna sit here in this holler for maybe an hour, and then have to call it. I so wanted to end this first episode of Up Camp in the Woods. Just to recap, on my way out of what would have been my last spot, I bumped a deer down a hill, down in like a holler, which is just a big drop off, and where it ran for a while. So I was like, oh my God, I bumped a deer. It was pretty far, so there was like no chance I was gonna catch up to it. I walked down a little bit to see where it was going through a clearing, never got eyes on it. So I'm like, well, whatever. At least you saw a deer. It's running away from you. It stinks to bump a deer. And then with like maybe 20 minutes left to go on my walk out, I was just walking slowly to try to avoid bumping another deer. And I heard something moving down another hillside, down into like a creek bed. And sure enough, a doe was coming at me. And as you saw from my iPhone footage, because I couldn't even get my GoPro out in time, I never bumped that deer. I tried to get into a position to sneak up behind it and get a shot on it. Maybe it was going to turn. And it never saw me, but I do feel like we were just playing cat and mouse. Like, I would take 3 steps forward and stop, and that doe would go like a step, and then 2 steps, and then 1 more, and then stop, and I would be like, she put her head down to eat, and I would sort of move slowly as her head was down. It was pretty thrilling, and I thought for sure, if there's a doe moving through this little holler here, a buck will be along anytime soon, and nothing ever kicked up. I got to get back to the city. It's going to take me 17 days probably to get back at this time. Really, what an experience. Like, what a great experience. You get the blood pumping. You're moving through the woods. You're trying not to make any noise. It's like it brings back all the memories, and all the nostalgia of it. So thank you for watching this episode of Up Camp. Please go and subscribe to this channel, my channel, and like this video if you can. Also, if you could follow on Instagram, Up Camp, and myself, Collin Comedy, that would be truly appreciated. Best of luck to you out there. If you're doing anything, just living, getting out of bed as a task, honestly, that's a lot nowadays. If you don't like this video, please send it to your enemies and have some fun knowing that they wasted their time. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all soon.